Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and coming at you with the weekly news and review for January 2nd, 2022. I'm sorry, my first video of the year was kind of a bummer, but it had to happen about the selling piece, and now we can move on. We can have a little bit more fun here. There's, of course, news with Masterpiece Transformers, Legends Transformers, and Mainline Transformers. There's also news a little bit with the Gijoe, Neca Tmnt, sorry, and Masters of the Universe and Star Wars. Very, very little Star Wars going on this week. Of course, this is one of those holiday weeks, the whole week, so not as much news as usual. There's still some great stuff going on out there. We're going to talk about all this coming up. As always, I want to start out talking about some stuff that I'm finding at Shows right now. So this KFC Toys medical bed, this is the KP18, and it is made for MP44. So it is MP scaled. It is 14.17 inches long, 5.51 inches wide, and 4.33 inches tall, something along those lines. And it is $1 down, no price yet, but pretty interesting that they're getting into all of this. Also up for pre-order right now is the Future Toys XSF02 Transmetal Black Arachnia. So this is not really going to replace the Takara one. This is the Transmetal, which is the second version. So it's pretty cool looking. It looks good in the bot mode, and it also looks pretty decent in the alt mode. Here's what it looks like in the alt mode. Looking pretty good, pretty interesting, pretty decent. I just like to see it with some paint, and I really hope it has some super shiny metallic paint to it. There's also a sell on the fourth party MP52 Starscream version 2.0, 3.0 at 110 right now. So that's pretty cool, and it looks pretty good. Now, I kind of passed on any Starscream KOs because I've got the official. What I'm going to do for myself is pick up a Thundercracker KO, and I'm finding there's another company making it. So I don't know what the name of this company that just says fourth party. It's 110 price point, but there's also the Eagle. So this is the Eagle EG01B Thundercracker. It's the MP52 Plus, and it's an improved version. So they're saying they're making parts out of nylon. That's interesting. So with this, this looks really good, and I like the way it looks. Now, again, I like the design. I like it. It's a little short for my taste, but a lot of people feel it's right, spot on size-wise. Looking pretty cool, and it is $85. So it's a better price. So the way I think I'm going to do it, when I get my KO of Skywarp, I'm going to try to go with Eagle Skywarp KO. And just so you know, this Thundercracker's coming in stock right now, and it might sell out pretty fast because that's a good price. Speaking of Eagle, shows their Starscream version for $85 sold out, and this is kind of what we're seeing, some pictures of the Eagle Starscream, and so that's kind of interesting right there. So it comes with everything featured here, everything that the original came with, and it's supposed to theoretically be improved. Now, there's the box, and it's just kind of a simplistic box. No big deal, not a big deal at all, but just want to kind of show those pictures so you get an idea. This is different than the other fourth party company. Staying right in line with Seekers, the Takara Skywarp, we're starting to see pictures of it. And then, you know, again, I talk a lot about KO, but for whatever reason, they wait for Takara to put theirs out so they can match the paint apps and the colors and all that, I guess, because I don't think much is going to change. Maybe the head sculpts a little bit, and maybe some of the accessories. But that looks good. That's a nice looking team. It looks great. Same right here. It's just kind of slightly different angle, so you can get a different look at it at a slightly different angle. Still looking great. Rocking on. And here's the back view. And the back view is good. The way this transforms, it sort of cleans up, but there is, you know, some of the kibble there still. But overall, the back looks good. The front looks good. Great. We're living in a day and age where you got great options for Seekers from all the different companies. So we got more leaked pictures of the Masterpiece Cliffjumper from Takara and possible Cliffjumper from Takara. Now, I do want to say that with this mold versus the Bumblebee, they did put that spoiler on the chest, so there's some differences. The new updated head sculpt, and I still like my Bumblebee. I know it's not perfect. It's not perfect. I'll be the first to admit it's not perfect. But to me, on my shelf, that Bumblebee's the best one. This Cliffjumper still looks like it will probably be the best one, you know, until we see like the likes of Fans Toys or all of them. And a lot of people are saying Fans Toys hinted at making one, and now it's going to be way off because this guy's coming out. Still no official word from Takara, though. Here it is from the back, and as you can see, this thing is painted really well. It looks really good. I mean, it looks to be painted. I mean, until you get it in hand, you don't really 100% know, but it does have that problem with the foot, but it does look like they've slightly re-engineered the foot, but it still is not a 100% win. At the end of the day, it's still going to look good from the front. So, from the back, maybe not so much. Speaking of Cliff Jumper, the Bumblebee Movie Cliff Jumper Smart Kit model kit by Trumpeter. These are promotional images of this and a little bit of information. Once it's assembled, it stands 9.1 centimeters tall and features a pretty good articulation range, and it includes a display stand. So, pretty good, looking great if you do like putting this stuff together. I think this is kind of a way that companies can put stuff out at a lower price point with these models and can still look really good, but again, I don't really think this one transforms or anything like that, so it'll be interesting to see how this kit turns out. Alright, so X-Transbots has some stuff coming the late January G2 of their Motor Master. So this looks pretty good. It looks like it's G2. They're just going to do multiple different color variations of the figure that they've already put out, which is great. And of course, they already have the trailer, and then the trailer's coming and all that kind of stuff. So taking a look at it, it looks really good. Now looking from the back, I mean, we've already seen this figure before, but it's interesting to see the color choices they make and where they put those colors and how those colors flow and how they work. And also, how it looks in the alt mode. Looking in the alt mode, nice looking alt mode. So, pretty solid figure, pretty solid release. But I think they revealed something that's way cooler than this. That's this guy right here. So, this is their MX-34 Vanguard. And there's been question and speculation on how it's going to assemble, parts and all of this stuff. But when this was first revealed, the first shot, people were trying to say that you're only going to get the cab with the figure, and then like the rest of it's going to be the combining parts. But I don't know anymore, so it's still going to be curious to see how that works, how all that works out. But this thing's supposed to be coming relatively soon. They're moving fast on this, and I kind of like that. Well, hopefully it's solid, everything works. I think they've really learned a lot, and they've made a lot of improvements. So hopefully that carries into the next releases, such as this one. Okay, I really can't make up all this stuff. This is funny. This is fun, but Jansen is either getting released or already released. I should be getting mine relatively soon, so it's showing up. People are getting it, and it looks great. This is the X-Transbots version, and it looks phenomenal. I like how it looks. It's a solid, beefy character, beefy figure, looking excellent. Here he is next to a Fans Toys figure, a Fans Toys Soundwave, and you can kind of see how tall he is, how big he is, and looks good. I mean, I think X-Transbots is going to be doing a really good job with this, and I'm excited for it. But one thing is that Fans Toys, I think, is stepping up their game because they're trying to get theirs out as soon as they can, because X-Transbots already got theirs out. That's a nice little rivalry, a battle there. So guess what? They put out a video. Fans Toys, yes, Fans Toys put out a video showcasing theirs. So I do think that it looks pretty good. Well painted and all that, but it's still tough at this point to decide which one's better. Like, you're gonna have to have them both in hand, but again, it's like $90 more than the X-Transbots version. But this is definitely a tough and rough battle back and forth between the two. So quite interesting how Fans Toys is responding right away with this. I'm wondering how long it's gonna take for them to get it to market. I know that it's probably even going to be a more challenging transformation than X-Transbots, or at least that's my guess on it, because I don't think anyone really knows just yet. But all of the paint, they're both painted really well. They're both designed really well. They both look excellent. So it's going to be a tough choice. It's just really going to come down to personal preference and how much you really want to pay for them. But I'm starting to wonder which one of these bad boys truly does sell out first, because they're having the same exact character, relatively similar quality, coming out at about the same time. Pretty exciting times to live in, if you ask me. And you thinking about this, I wonder how many of the like Tesla 1.0s are going to be getting fire sold when this thing comes out. I really do. I mean, I have a feeling we're going to see a fire sale. Tesla 1.0, the value on that thing might not hold. I'm curious what you guys think below, but after looking at this video and looking and seeing what's going on with the X-Transbots one, yeah, I'd really like to see what happens to 1.0 Tesla. But anyway, I really like that they put these videos out too. It's kind of exciting. 2022 is actually going to be a pretty good year for Masterpiece Transformers collectors because there's so much fun going on. So Fans Toys has also put up pictures of their box art. They also have a video on their YouTube channel, the Fans Toys YouTube channel, of the box art, which is really kind of interesting, making me think that this is coming very, very soon. Between this one and their Tesla 2.0, coming very soon. Riding on the heels of that, we also have the cassettes showing up. They call them the Cassetticons, which what a crazy name. That's kind of cool. This is the packaging, the box for them. Here is Rumble, and he's only Rumble to me. I already have Frenzy, so I got Rumble here. And I like the blue one better, so I like the Rumble better than the red one. I've always have, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's his attitude. Here is Ravage, and I gotta say it's a good-looking Ravage. And from this angle, you don't see the gap behind his shoulders. There's a big gap, but that doesn't really bother me. I mean, I've looked at all the pictures from all the different angles, and I like what they did. Could you think about how ultra complicated it would be with small little pieces to fill that gap? I know people say it should have a gap filler. Maybe there'll be a third-party company making gap fillers for these cassettes, but hey, who knows? A third-party company making for a third-party company. But looking at this Laserbeak might be actually a really good one. A lot of people try to say that they don't think the bird's going to be that great, but looking at it, I think it looks great. I mean, it's the only painted one that I've seen that's painted this well. It just looks so good. I know the MMC tapes are way too big, in my opinion, for the birds, and Takara's was good. It was okay, but this one still will probably be Takara's. And we're seeing the release of Moon Studio MS02 Iceland, and this is going to be kind of exciting. Again, I was in on these and I backed out because I have other financial obligations. $600 bots is quite a bit of money this day and age. So, what would happen if you sold all 6 of these at one time on the same selling platform? This looks amazing. I really do like how it looks. It looks very solid, and Imgo did a quick little preview of it too. So he says it feels solid, it looks solid. He's going to be doing his review on it. He's got it. He'll probably be one of the first reviewers up with it or something like that. Here is the train mode. I think that looks outstanding. That does look excellent. I really think everybody that's getting this set's going to be pleased with it. And once it's combined, I'm hoping for a Pi BN on a box set. If they could do like a $450 box set once it's all done, who knows? Here's to hoping for that. So we got pictures of Bing Toys Shockwave. It's the BTO1 silencer. This is $139.99, so it's a $140 figure, and it is from the Bumblebee movie. Looks pretty good, looks pretty solid. I'm sure it's got some die cast in it and all of that good stuff with plastic. It's about a 12-inch tall figure too, so it's a pretty good size figure. And just a picture of it next to the Soundwave there, so that looks really good. Here is the back picture of it, and I do want to point out on the back that they do have what appears to be a metallic hose. So we've seen this with Takara and the likes, where the metallic hose on Shockwave is painted and then the paint chips off. So I'm glad that this is unpainted. It appears to be unpainted to me, and that's a smart move, good way to go. But hey, this project's going forward. These things are actually starting to show up, and pretty exciting. So I kind of feel like when we're talking about Legends news lately, we've been kind of rehashing some of the same stuff. They came out with a Blitz one week, and then we just kind of get more repaints of those figures they've already announced each week subsequently. But looking at this is the New Age, and it's Sean. This is the H42 EXR painted in red. So I haven't seen this one yet, so I wanted to point that one out. They still put more promotional pictures of the other ones, but I don't really think we need to keep showing all those. Here is the alt mode, and it looks pretty good. So I think they're up to like 7 now repaints of this figure, which is fine, which is great. Everybody gets what they want out of this, and the sad thing is, once they all sell out, people will be clamoring to get these. So this is the time if you're in on this mold. Also, here is they call this Lamont Cranston. So this is the H42B, and it's the clear version, but it's like a charcoal clear version. So looks pretty cool for what it is. And here is the alt mode to that. That looks pretty cool too. Kind of like that. But I'm not a big fan of clear myself, and I don't know why they chose this. I'm sure there's some sort of history. And yes, Legends News is they just keep pushing out some more and more and more of the same, because each step of the way as they're developing it and they're getting it ready for the market and all that kind of stuff. So here's a whole bunch of the Magic Square 2.0 primes, and It looks good. I have to admit, it does look really good. It's a pretty expensive figure for what it is, and so that's a nice looking figure for Legends, but their competition, New Age, did a pretty good job too. So it's kind of tough to decide which one's best. So here we are with New Age, but I had a question about New Age. How tall was it truly compared to the existing Magic Square, which is almost the same exact size as the 2.0? So having them side by side, well, it's just a little shorter. It's still a tad bit shorter. A lot of people think of New Age as way, way shorter, but no, it's not that much shorter. And it looks pretty good. So New Age is putting out another version of their Lucifer or their Starscream. This is supposed to have cartoon colors. So I didn't get in on any of these Legends Seekers because I already have an old set that I think is fine. But these are a lot better. I know they're a lot better. But with the price, these things are a pretty hefty price. They list this as the version 1.5. Expected release is June of 2022. And you can find pre-orders pretty much everywhere. So, interesting that they are putting this out again, which is good. Like, if you missed the first round, you can get it now. Alt mode right there, that's how it looks. Looks a lot like the tail fins on this look like the Deformation Space Towing. Tail fins. Kind of strange. So we got some in-hand images of Lift Ticket here, so it kind of looks pretty interesting. You can kind of see him with his brothers there, or his other wave mold mates. Not wave mates, but mold mates. And looks pretty good. Pretty much what you'd expect. Different color of the similar mold. Down here is the alt mode, and pretty interesting. That looks like kind of a shiny metallic blue paint on the side of the window there, so that's kind of cool. I like that. And it does look pretty good overall. They put quite a bit into it. Very interesting figure if you're in for this guy. So Jazzwares is bringing us some Transformers Micro Machines. I really didn't know about that, but here's a picture of Optimus Prime. And so interesting that they're doing this. Obviously, they're not going to transform. They're just straight up Micro Machines, but kind of interesting that it's going on. Here's some jets and helicopters and stuff like that. So these pictures are quite interesting that they're doing the Micro Machines. I don't know how many people are in on this and how many people are out on this, but it is different. But I've seen some similar stuff like this in the past. But in the past, the Micro Machines transformed. I don't believe these do, so I don't think they have the license to make them transform. I don't think they really want to. They can keep the price a lot lower if they're just making straight up Micro Machine cars, and that's interesting. We'll get cars like this. Who's in on this and who's out? Okay, so Go Better is making an upgrade kit for Sharkticons, and it's kind of interesting how they're doing this. So this has some gap fillers and stuff, but some of it's next level gap fillers, which kind of blow my mind. So that's why I want to talk about this. First off, if you look at the front of the face of the Sharkticon in robot mode, that actually turns into covering the head on the bottom of the chin in alt mode, which is brilliant. It's really brilliant. And frankly, I don't know why Hasbro didn't do that in the first place. But over than that, on the inside of the hands, there's a filler there, and the way it fills, it looks like it's actually another toe or another part of the foot to give it more stability. Looks really good. They're doing a great job with this kit. Also, looking at this, if you look at what they did, so it looks like Z is the inside of the arm filler. But then go down below, number 4 and number 5, those are actually little fillers for those slots, those holes, and they make it look like it's ratcheted. That is so ingenious. The little fillers look like ratchets. But even more, you go to number 8, and it looks like a little jet engine fan thing down there. So much detail went into this. It's a really cool filler set, and I think it's better than what we've seen in the past, where you just plug in little square pieces that don't have much detail. This looks great. So we also got a picture of Night Prowler, or that's going to be coming in the main line. So I don't know anything about the character. Still, it looks like just a Cheetor repaint, and I'm sure they repainted Cheetor several times and made up a new name for him. So still pretty cool, pretty interesting. This kind of just leaked news that's leaking out there. Here's a close-up on the face for some reason, so you can see all the paint detail that's gone into the face and that whole area and the whole region. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, we've got some pictures from Studio Series, from Legacy, from Buzzworthy Bumblebee that's been recently put out. So this is the Coronation set. Now, we've already seen, I think people have even reviewed this Coronation set, and it's $53 or something like that, $50, something like that. But it comes with the throne, pretty much the same Starscream, and of course the crown, the shoulder pieces, and you get an extra set of null rays and that kind of stuff. So we've seen most of this already. Here's Blaster. Now, I just picked up Blaster, and now Blaster is going to be in this packaging. Now, I think the packaging looks really cool. I like the purple. I like what's going on with it. I don't like the open window. I mean, you could literally touch Blaster, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And so, I mean, at least we can still see the figure, but the one I have is protected behind plastic in the Kingdom packaging, and I like that more, even though this packaging looks cooler than the Kingdom packaging. So, obviously, there's Blaster. I think it's a great looking figure. Awesome. I'm looking to get another one to open, and I guess the Legacy one's going to have to get open, right? All right, here we go with Bulkhead, and again, the open box. I don't like that. We knew it was coming, and we've already seen it with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan at all. At least we still see the figure. Okay, here we go with the Laser Optimus Prime, so this looks pretty cool. Great packaging. Leader class, I believe. Yeah, it is. And here's the backup package, so you can kind of see everything going on with it. The alt mode, the bot mode, the base mode, all that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. Now, Galvatron's getting repacked into this Legacy, and so it looks interesting packaging. Of course, Leader, you don't see the figure at all, so know how I feel about that. Okay, I know how I feel about that. I don't like that. I like the old Leader packaging where you can still see the figure, and I think this is a bad move on their behalf. But I don't know if it's going to affect sales, but I saw some picture of some Rodimus with a water bottle. Somebody returned it with a water bottle strapped to it. I don't know, like who thought of that nonsense? Okay, here is the back of it, so you can see kind of, well, we already know about this figure. We've seen all the reviews, and most people already have it, but still kind of cool that they actually put that out there. Now, we've already seen pictures of this Buzzworthy Bumblebee Cup, but I really think this is the best version of Cup. And after going through a little bit of the media and trying to get pictures to compare the lock version from X-Transbots, I actually realized that this Buzzworthy is super close to movie accurate for Cup, like even down to the little squiggly lines on his chest. Really, really movie accurate, and that is awesome. I didn't realize doing all that made it more cartoon accurate, movie accurate, and this thing is really spot on. Makes me almost want to get rid of my other one. This Buzzworthy Bumblebee version of Cliffjumper, this is people's chance to get another one, and I'm hearing, and I didn't do the full-on analysis like I did with Cup, but I'm hearing this is more toon accurate, and again, people are going to be better off getting this version than the first version, so that does kind of suck for people that jumped early adopters. I wonder if they had this planned in advance. You know, that's not good if they did it that way. And we got Buzzworthy Bumblebee from the movie. Yeah, from the movie. Anyway, still, they're going to put this back out so that you can put together your nice little Studio Series set of figures. So not much going on with Gijoe Classified this week, and I did see just like a flood of barbecues out of nowhere. And we're talking, it's not even the summer barbecue sale. It's out of nowhere, just a ton of barbecues. Now, wouldn't this be awesome if these were Vipers? Like, why can't this be Vipers? No, it can't be Vipers. It's got to be barbecue that pretty much everybody's gotten. Everybody was able to pre-order this. And so maybe they overproduced this figure thinking it's going to sell like a Viper. So there is got to be some sort of production change when it comes to a Troop Builder versus a standard figure. Hope they figure that out. Also, speaking of Troop Builder, the Bats and Alley Vipers are randomly showing up from several places. We're hearing Dorks Like Toys, BBTS, GameStop was saying that theirs should be shipping soon. So a lot of people are getting them, and a lot of people are getting shipping notices, so those figures should be coming soon. And I'm even hearing that we might even see very, very soon Storm Shadow Wave. Okay, so I made a video last week talking about, will Motu end? And in 2022, I don't want it to end. I want it to continue. I'm having so much fun with that line, and there's so much going on, whether it's Origins or Revelations. I like both of them. Well, I like the Origins a little bit more. Revelations, there's certain aspects of it I really love and enjoy. But when you look at it, BBTS has this email came to me, and they say, hey, come pre-order all this stuff. We got it all in. And I thought, oh, a nice flood of pictures, right? The only picture is Stridor. So this concerns me. This adds to the fuel, to the fire of Motu ending in 2022. They don't even have promo pictures of these figures they've put solicitations to for BBTS or any of these other places. The only pictures I could find are people made their own pictures and they used what we got from the PowerCon. The one display. There was just one display of PowerCon. And that's what everybody uses for pictures to know what this stuff even is. And so that's sorry on one hand, and it's scary on the other. So what do you guys think? By the way, I did pre-order 2 of each of these. So if you're a Back to the Future collector, Neca is actually putting out an Einstein. Now Einstein is going to be part of an accessory pack, but it's really cool to have an Einstein. And my son super duper wants one of these. No matter what, we've got to get this Einstein for him. So we'll be doing it. And it's also kind of fun to have a kid that's into 80s stuff as much as he is, especially like Back to the Future, which is a little obscure for kids these days to be into. But it looks amazing. I don't think it has any articulation. I think it literally is a statue. Maybe the head articulates. Who knows? But I'd be interested to see what comes of this. But I guess you don't really want NECA to articulate too much, right? And then we're getting some NECA Turtles, the Neutrons or Neutronos. The Neutronos? So they're all going to come on their skateboards. I'm wondering, I think this is going to be a 3-pack. And so I don't know how expensive that'd be. But these do look really cool and really super cartoon, and I do remember this from the show, so pretty exciting, pretty awesome that they're making these. But then again, how much deeper can they go with characters that people like myself even remember? I didn't remember a Chrome Dome or a lot of the figures they're putting out now, and I don't know how much longer I've been buying figures I don't know. I know these guys, so I'm getting them. So another light week of Star Wars news, but there actually is news. There's actually stuff going on with Star Wars that is a little bit exciting. So first of all, I was able to pick up these figures at retail. I think it's been over the past week or so. But looking at this, we've got over here the Island Journey Ray at Ollie's was $5, and then they had like a 33% off deal. It was like $3 and some change. So I picked her up. I mean, not that I really cared about that figure so much, but I can't remember if I got her. So I was like, well, it's not going to hurt anything. So then these other 3 figures showed up at Target. And the strangest thing ever, there was one figure hanging on the shelf by itself, no other figures from the wave. I went and bought it. Next day I come back, there's one more figure hanging there, Lobot or whatever, and then I bought it. And the next day, like Bib Fortuny was hanging there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my Target was screwing with me or not, but it's strange. Usually you'll see either the whole wave or a remnant, but maybe they did get 3 boxes and those were the leftovers, like a case a day, and those were the leftovers. That I got the one leftover. I don't know, but it's a strange situation. Now I worry about that wave because I've shown this picture before, but I'm still seeing Walmarts with clogged pegs of this wave with the Emperor in it and all this kind of stuff. And that is going to be an issue with vintage collection collectors. And if this wave is clogging retail, then the wave that I just showed you won't be showing up. So it's going to be hard to get, in my opinion. And the other thing is these carbonized figures that are almost $20. Like, nobody wants $20 vintage collection figures. In fact, 13 a piece is already overpriced. They should be 10. They should figure out the correct production quantity so that they could get the price down to 10, and they would move them a lot better, a lot faster, and more efficiently. But now, these carbonized will probably get clearanced out cheaper than standard figures because they're just hanging there at a ridiculously high price. I'm already seeing clearance on these at some Walmarts. By far, the biggest news this week is the Book of Boba Fett. I think it was the 29th or something that it came out. Anyway, my whole family, we all sat down and we watched it. We really enjoyed it, every one of us. And I gotta say, if they would have put all this up, we would have binged it by now and been through it all. So I'm kind of glad they make us wait, because we would for sure 100% binge this and then forget it. You know what I'm saying? You binge it, forget it. So having something to look forward to each week is a good way to prolong this. But also, I like the way they're doing it. We're getting a little bit more back history. We kind of get to see, you know, there's without a spoiler, there's just a lot of scenes on how Boba Fett survived after Empire Strikes Back. So really cool, really fun. I look forward to the rest of the season. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I missed? Because I'd really like to know. I'd like to stay on top of this. Like, subscribe. Today I'm here out.